Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about my predictions for the NGS headline which is airing tomorrow. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. Alright, the very first thing I want to cover is today's keyword. Today's keyword is Sonic with a capital S _ thanks _ you. And once you type that, you're going to press escape, you're going to go to systems, get campaign items, go to account, and over here you have Sonic's birthday 2022. This is a different reward compared to the old one before because we actually get Eggman CD, Reach the Stars, Wonder World, as well as a special scratch ticket. So make sure to pick all of those up. Now, as usual, in order to apply your music CDs, you're going to open up your Mag device, go to music settings, go to add, and then you're going to add all of the different CDs over here. And boom, I actually really like Eggman. I like that music song or that CD quite a bit. So just make sure to add all of that. Then as usual, if you want to play their music, you go to play over here and then go to the last page and boom, now we have 5 different Sonic CDs, which is really cool. Now with the keyword out of the way, the next thing we want to talk about is of course what to expect in the NGS headline. So the most obvious thing is of course going to be the new class. I don't think the new class is going to be released immediately, but it's just going to be some sort of preview. We're going to be able to see what the summoner class is going to look like. I do think it's going to be the summoner class and not the gunslash class, mainly because they did leak on their Twitter that well, now there's like a musical note looking thing as well as a summoner icon. So I'm guessing that we're probably just gonna get the summoner class. But yeah, I'm kind of interested why they changed the symbol from like the little pet symbol into a musical note. So is the summoner going to be like a bard support type of class, or what's the big deal? Because we can already see the Rayland, which is kind of like the summoner type doll. It's already in the game in Kavaris. You can see it summon like birds and stuff while it's flying around. So it probably is going to be something similar to that in some sense, since if we compare like the Bouncer with the Calcundo, if we compare the Braver with the Bujin, there are some similarities between the two classes. So I'm guessing the summoner is going to be more or less something similar to the summoner doll-like enemy, or at least its moveset. So if you guys missed yesterday's podcast with Thrift Shopping, he had a druid type of idea where instead of having actual pets around you, you would transform into a specific pet, or like part of your body would transform as you summoned it. And then earlier today I was lurking on Chrono's stream and he had an idea of like not having the actual pets, but whenever you cast specific photon arts, specific pets would pop up. And I think that probably sounds a little bit more reasonable, because I think it would be really weird if we had a pet that just floats around with us and we would hold our harmonizer and then again we would have like the auto attack feature. I really didn't like that in the base game because it kind of came up with the whole meme of like, oh, how do you play summoner? You just stand there and let your pet auto attack and do all the work for you. I didn't really like that, but I am really hoping that Maron is coming back, because Maron was my favorite pet. You just got it, it grew bigger and bigger, yeeted it into the boss, it exploded, and it just blew everything up a bajillion damage. That was the highlight of Summoner for me personally. However, yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. But more importantly, what I want to see is actually what does the Summoner skill tree do? Because I'm thinking, should I use Summoner as a subclass? Right now, everyone's using Force or Hunter or whatever, but I'm thinking, with our new Kaiser weapons as well as rugged weapons, we have extremely large variants, right? From 50% all the way to 100%. That's really big compared to our regular weapons where it's usually 75% to 100% variance. I'm thinking, if we have a Summoner subclass, will its skill tree either give us critical rate or like floor potency in the class tree itself? Because that would be really interesting and really cool. But the thing that I'm worried about if they do that is everyone's going to switch over to a summoner subclass. It's going to be like a necessity because, well, with our new Kaiser weapons, everyone's going to have 50% to 100% variance. You could go really ham on your floor potency with your augments. However, it's still not going to affect your weapon that much. You'll definitely help, but there's no way you're going to get to like 90% or 99% or even 100%. You'll probably be stuck between 60 to 70% floor potency, and that's if you go really hard on your augments. So I'm quite interested in seeing what this summoner class skill tree will actually provide. I still am leaning towards critical rate because I really want a crit build for my Braver. As you guys know, I am extremely biased towards the Braver, as a lot of you guys pointed out in yesterday's video. But I mean, hey, you know, I admit it. I am very, very biased to the Braver because it is my main class and I freaking love the Braver class. The next thing to look forward to is, of course, the 10th year anniversary. So we are going to get a seasonal event of some type, and the seasonal event is probably going to be a rehash of all the other seasonal events. You're going to kill enemies for seasonal points. There's going to be exchange shop. You're going to exchange your points for some goodies, probably stamps, cosmetic items, maybe some rerun items or some motion items, most likely. Something along those lines are probably going to be available. I am hoping Blizzardium is going to be in the event shop. I'm not holding my breath because, as I said before, I don't think Sega works that fast. They did put out a post last week saying that, oh yeah, Blizzardium is a problem. You know, we're going to introduce more ways for you to earn Blizzardium. But I don't think they work that fast. So I would not be surprised if there's no Blizzardium in the event shop. But if there is, well, you know, that's a pleasant surprise. That would be nice. Other than that is, of course, the new elemental weapons. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what the new elemental weapons are and if they're going to be 6 stars or 7 stars. I'm leaning towards 6 stars. You know, I think it would be a little bit busted if they gave you a 7-star elemental weapon. So, you know, just fully expect like 6 stars, maybe upgradable. Who knows? That would be an interesting twist. You know, you start with a 6-star rarity weapon from the event shop, you farm up event currency or something in order to get all the different materials to upgrade that event weapon into a 7-star. I think that would be an interesting idea, but that's probably me huffing a lot of copium and hopium. But you know, you never know. Sega might surprise me on that. The next thing I'm looking forward to is, of course, going to be new capsules and new gear. We were all hoping that, you know, Dark Falls Rank 2 was going to give us new armors. Unfortunately, that was not the thing. You know, it didn't happen. So I'm still pretty sure that we will get new armors of some sort. So probably we'll see a preview of something. Maybe there's going to be a new urgent quest. Maybe the seasonal urgent quest might drop some new gear, some important gear. That would be, you know, a huge incentive for people to actually go and do that type of content. I'm really hoping that Sega is going to be getting the memo sometime soon that, hey, we care about the loot. The loot is very important. It needs to be good in order to encourage players to do said content. If the loot is not good, people aren't going to do the content, and hopefully they realize that, especially with the gold box farming. You know, gold box farming is boring AF, but the loot is necessary. You know, people need the Blizzardium, so regardless of how boring it is, people are going to do it, right? So hopefully Sega gets that message and realizes that, yo, maybe we can put good loot behind fun content and engaging things and maybe make people happy for once. So I'm definitely hoping that there will be new gear and, as I said earlier, new capsules. I am really praying that critical rate is going to be a new thing or introduced as a capsule into the game sooner or later. Obviously, I wish it to be sooner, but I know there is going to be a lot of balancing issues about that. You know, they need to make sure that everything is balanced across all the classes. They don't want to make anything broken and just straight up busted, because that's what they did in episode 5 on the base game, and everyone hated it because hero was basically the only class you played because everything else was not viable. So yeah, that is something that they should definitely look at. I know a lot of people are probably like, Kero, the Braver is kind of busted, you know, Braver is kind of overpowered compared to all the other classes. And yeah, you know, I do admit Braver is really, really strong compared to all the other classes, but I would definitely like to see Sega just buff all the other classes to the same level as Braver, and then give us these critical rate capsules, and yeah, that way I can build the build that I actually want. Because if you go full crit rate, you don't care about variance. You don't need 4 potency, because every time you crit, it's 120% of your maximum damage, which is really, really great. So you just go pure crit and it's bada bing, bada boom, you deal tons of damage. So yeah, I'm hoping that that capsule does come in. Not holding my breath for it, but you know, it might happen. Actually, speaking about capsules, I was thinking the other day, what type of damage do you think the summoner is going to be? I know a lot of people are going to default to like technique damage and be like, oh, well, duh, it's a caster. Of course it's going to use technique damage. But do you think that maybe they might go mixed damage? Like depending on what pet you summon or what type of PA you use. For example, if you use like a melee PA, it's going to scale off melee potency. If you use a range PA, it's going to use range potency. And if you use like a spellcaster or like a technique PA, it scales off technique. Could the summoner be the first class that requires all 3 different types of potencies? That would be very interesting to see because, you know, we got all these new capsules with the introduction of Kavaris, and it was really pushing us towards mixed potencies. So that could be an interesting idea, but let me know in the comment section what you guys think. And last but not least, of course, there's going to be a buttload of scratches. Like, you know, it's going to be a thing, all right? Sega wants to make their money. They need to make their bread. So there is going to be a butt ton of scratches. It is going to be the 10-year anniversary. So I'm expecting some reruns of some sort. But of course, I want to see the new scratches because, you know, I don't really care about the rerun stuff since I've been playing the game the entire time. But I know there are a lot of newcomers or returning players because of the Kavaris region. So maybe you guys do want the reruns in case you did miss any of the cosmetic items because you took a break, because during the Alia region as well as the Retem region it just wasn't very interesting. So understandable, they might do it, they probably will do it, to be honest. So stay tuned for tomorrow's video, as tomorrow's video is going to be a recap of the NGS headline. Now tomorrow's video is going to be a little bit later than usual as the NGS headline airs at 8 p.m. my time, and my videos usually go live at 6 p.m. my time, so it is going to be a little bit later. Expect it to be like 6 hours later than usual because I do need to record, edit, blah blah blah. It does take a little bit of time. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.
What can I say except you're welcome?